In the year of 1896, the Supreme Court case Plessy v. Ferguson set the precedent of separate but equal. This meant that African Americans and Caucasians could be separated as long as the different facilities were equal. However, the Supreme Court case Brown v. Board of Education put that statement into question. Reverend Oliver Brown was an assistant pastor, a welder at the Santa Fe Railroads, and the father to 9-year-old Linda Brown. His childhood friend, attorney Charles Scott, was a civil rights lawyer who asked Oliver Brown, along with 12 other parents, to enroll their children in their closest all-white neighborhood school. In the fall of 1950, Oliver Brown went to Sumner Elementary School, along with his daughter Linda Brown, in hopes of enrolling Linda into the school. In short, Oliver Brown was unsuccessful. She was denied admission. The National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, or the NAACP, filed a class action suit against the Board of Education of Topeka. The Federal District Court ruled in favor of the Board of Education. They claimed that separate but equal was fair, as seen in the 1896 case of Plessy v. Ferguson. However, after about 2 years, 5 similar cases from Kansas, South Carolina, Virginia, and Delaware were brought into one case, resulting in Brown v. Board of Education to be brought to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court agreed to hear the case because these cases were causing a lot of uproar due to people questioning how this affected civil rights under the 14th Amendment. Thurgood Marshall and his NAACP lawyers argued that segregated schooling violated the 14th Amendment's guarantee of equal protection of the law. The Brown family lawyers also argued that the segregation implied that African Americans were inherently inferior to whites. Lots of testimony was provided to support the argument that legal segregation led to unequal education and low self-esteem among the minority students. However, Topeka attorneys who represented the Board of Education argued that the schools for non-whites in Topeka were very equal and abided by the law of separate but equal. They claimed that they had in good faith created equal facilities even though races were segregated. They also argued that discrimination by race did not harm the children. Nonetheless, in the year of 1954, Chief Justice Earl Warren declared that even if physical factors in segregated schools were equal, separating children by race causes feelings of inferiority. All in all, in a unanimous ruling, it was declared that racial segregation in public educational facilities were unconstitutional. This landmark case had a long-lasting effect on the United States. The ruling overturned the legal policies established by Plessy v. Ferguson, ultimately allowing all races and ethnicities to attend the same schools.
It is not the treatment of a people that degrades them, but their acceptance of it. Thank you.